Welcome to Speak Now, Hold Your Peace. And today I have a special guest, someone who's going to help us out with um, just some marketing for your business. She's going to talk to her. I'm going to talk to her about some consulting in terms of taxes and bookkeeping. I'm not going to. I have a bio, but I want Crystal. Crystal. I want you to introduce yourself. So we have Crysta Tyus. How you doing, Krista?
I'm doing great,
You like
Jay.
to
Thank
clap,
you so
right?
much.
You like to
Yeah,
clap?
I
Yeah,
love
it's
yeah.
fine. We got it. We got it. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you coming on. I really do. So, Krista, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Yep. I am a tech founder and marketing consultant. I help my niche is tax and accounting professionals. So I help them utilize social media to get paid clients consistently and scale multi six figure firms. So we work with clients in over 13 countries now. So I'm super excited about that. And yeah,
13 countries. Wow,
yep.
that's good. And I can't wait to ask you another question. But go ahead.
Oh, that was it. That was it. That was it.
Okay. All right. So, first, let me ask you this. This ain't the question, but let me ask you this. Explain to the audience who Krista is.
Yeah, who Krista is? That's a loaded question. um, I am a I am on a mission to really just help as many people as possible around the world. And so that's honestly my driving force every day. Like I work 12, 15-hour days, but I do it very happily, right? I'm excited to get up and to create products and services that help people, right? Just help make their journey easier. So I think that's just the calling on my life, and I'm being obedient right now and just
Right.
doing what I'm supposed to do, right?
And I
And yeah, helping a lot of people.
Okay, and I always say some people choose their jobs and some people don't. Some of the ones that don't choose it, they don't choose it. The job chooses them. So and
Mhm.
that's in any field, but it's, especially in fields that people tend to shy away from, or people fields that are low in pay and stuff like that. So I do believe that everybody, some people choose their jobs and some people don't.
They do.
Yeah. Uh,
Fact.
so this is a question. I know the answer to this question. No, you know what? I'm gonna save that one. Now, actually, I'm gonna ask you this. I know the answer to this question. I actually, like I said, the audience, you guys don't know it. I watched some of Krista's videos on YouTube, um, and I heard a story of how she got started. And I thought it was pretty cool, and it was inspiring and motivational. Um, how old were you when you got started? When you had your business? You
You said
first
how
got
old
it.
was I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. When I first got started, I was 23. I was at
23.
the tender age of 23.
And that's how. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's big. At 23, there's a lot of people at 23 who they either still in college, or they're just trying to find their way around what they want to do and just getting started. But you started at 23.
I did.
How'd you go about doing that?
You know what? I was working at Chase Bank at the time, and I just felt like stagnant. Like I felt like there was this kind of like glass ceiling. You hear of the proverbial glass ceiling.
Right,
And
right.
so I felt like there wasn't any upward mobility in the banking center the way that I wanted to move up, right? There was a lot of just, red tape with regards to who got promoted, when, and why. And it was just, it was a lot. So I decided, and I had started to get the itch like, hey, I want to start my own business, right? I already had like the entrepreneurial bug over the past couple of years. Like, I tried to do, I tried to start a cleaning business, right? When I was like 20, 21 years old. I think I was cooking for a minute. I was trying to figure it out. I was just
Right.
hustling. right? Just trying to figure out like what I liked, what was I interested in. And taxes, it kind of going back to what you said, Dre, like sometimes you don't choose the work chooses you. And I
Yep.
kind of fell into that category where I was doing my own taxes and I was doing the taxes for my mother-in-law at the time, my boyfriend at the time, and I just love to do it. I was like, I really like this stuff. So when I was at the banking center and trying to figure out like what entrepreneurial journey I wanted to go down, like taxes just seemed like a great fit. I'm like, Crysta, you already love to do this. You geek out on it anyway. And I'm like, go make some money doing this. Like,
Right.
let's see, let's explore what it would be like to actually make some money doing this.
Okay. All right. Because yeah, you said you was doing people's taxes, and in college. Was you doing it in college too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
And
yeah, because
yep, high school, college, yep.
okay, because in college everybody's looking to get their taxes done. You don't have to be
Oh
a
yeah.
professional; they just looking to get it done. So yeah, I know that was a nice little chunk of change when you was get you
Mhm,
started. Get you
mhm.
get you some food in the dorm. Oh man.
Exactly.
So Krista, what motivates you?
What motivates me?
Yeah, in terms of just your work ethic and things like that. Hard work. I know you say you
Yeah,
work 15 hours a day. So what
a day.
motivates you to keep going?
You know what? I was just telling somebody this earlier today. I said, you have to be passionate about like what it is that you're doing because like once you get the fancy car, the big house, you got some money in the bank, it's like, okay, what's going to keep you persevering past the level of success, right? And so
Mm,
for me, it's like I just have a sheer passion to do what I'm doing, like to impact, to inspire, have a goal to help billions of people around the world. I was telling somebody else this earlier today. It sounds kind of crazy to some people because they're like, Krista, really? What you gonna do that's gonna impact billions of people, right? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out, right? Like I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna happen. So that's just my sheer passion right now. Is just how can we create products and services that's just gonna help a lot of people? And I'm genuinely excited about that, Dre. Like
right,
genuinely.
right. That's good. That's good. What are your challenges and your setbacks? Like that you face? Like what challenges and setbacks do you have with your business and just the everyday operation of it? And in terms of long term too.
Yeah. So I at this point it's not a lot of well, how about this? Everything is kind of like a learning experience, right? So as soon as you get to one level in your business, it's like, okay, now you got to go to the next level. And because you've never been to that next level, it's a learning experience. It's like, okay, well, how do we navigate at this new level? And who do we need on our team? And how do you hire? So the level that I'm at, it's like, okay, we're now scaling our business. And how do you effectively do that? How do you now manage 50 people, 100 employees and contractors, and just the nuances around that. So I think this next level is really about people management, about team building, and just kind of navigating that because for so long I've been used to just being a solo entrepreneur, right? I've
Mm-hmm.
so long I've been used to just maybe being me and somebody else, or me and maybe some outsourced contractors, people that I paid to like create a website or to do my social media. But now when you actually start bringing people in your team, it's like a whole nother responsibility. It's a whole nother animal, right? And it's
Yeah, yeah.
scary. It's like I got this payroll now
Right.
that is not a small expense. It's actually a big expense. And so that's been actually fun navigating and learning how to do. And it's like every level is it's a different experience.
Right. Okay. I remember one time I was watching one of your videos and I think you said something about like when you're starting your business tax, like your bookkeeping business, and I thought this applied to just starting a business in general, that you have to have the right mindset
Mhm.
and the right strategy. So can you explain that?
Oh yeah. So you know what, Trey, you good.
Yo,
You
I'm listening. I'm listening to you, Krista. I'm listening
you
to
got
you. I
those
got you.
notes, right? So yes, so I did say that. So that's what I found because some people, they'll have all the strategy in the world. You talk to some people and you're like, you're really smart. You know how to do this and that and this, and you have insight and perspective about how to do this business. And then you look at them and you're like, why are you not doing it? Like, why aren't you actually doing what you are so knowledgeable about? And it's like that mindset piece has been like game changer for me, like just believing in yourself. Like, can we just pause and write that down, y'all? Like, believe in yourself to know that like you can do it. You have the tools, the resources, you can find the people. And so when you mix the mindset with the strategy, you literally become dangerous. Like, you can do a lot of good, you can make a lot of money, right? You can help a lot of people, but it has to be both. Like, it can't be one without the other. It's peanut butter
Right.
and jelly, right? Is both at this point.
Right. Right. So with that in mind, I want to talk about this imposter syndrome. Um, can you explain what the imposter syndrome is?
Yeah, and imposter syndrome, in my viewpoint, just means that you are knowledgeable to do a certain task or skill set, but you don't feel worthy or qualified to actually do that certain skill set or task, right? And so for me, I meet a lot of very smart people that have like bachelor's degrees, masters, PhDs. They have masters in like dual topics and subjects, like, and so, but they always are like, well, Chris, I don't know enough, or I don't feel like I have enough experience. It's always something that's like holding them back on why they can't take action. And typically that's just imposter syndrome. You don't feel like you are worthy to do what you're doing. You don't feel worthy to have a lot of money or to be successful, even though you want it. Deep down, you just don't feel worthy. So I think I spend a lot of time talking to my clients about just going back to that mindset training, really instilling in them to know that yes, you can have what you want, right? And it's not a and or. A lot of people start to play these scenarios. Well, if I'm successful, then that means that I'm not going to be a good wife or a good husband. Or if I'm successful, that means I won't be able to show up for my children in a way. Like, they start actually giving themselves excuses on why they really can't do it or why they
Right.
really can't be as successful as they want to be. And this all just goes back to imposter syndrome and fear, right? And so we spend a lot of time breaking that down and getting people to see that no, you're still going to be a great mom. You're
Right.
still going to be a
Right.
great wife and husband. And yes, you deserve it. Yes, you deserve to have all that you dream. Yes, you deserve to have the beautiful home and the nice car and money in the bank and to be able to take a vacation when you want. You deserve that. So I
Right.
spend a lot of time just getting people to realize that, to believe in themselves.
Right. And that's a good point. Definitely a good point. I mean, that imposter syndrome, I must have hit it about 2 times. Um,
We all do.
yeah, and I'm just like, man, I don't know about this. Like, it was never so much with podcasting because I was just kind of like out there. I didn't care. So if they listen, they listen. If they don't, they don't. That was my mindset. But other
Yeah.
things like and I say this because of those probably some listeners here who have this same issue. This was with like starting a business, working for a company, just getting hired, and then you have second thoughts about if you should have took the job because you just don't know if you're capable. On paper you are, your resume looks good, I'm gonna hire you. But then when you get in there, it's just like you start second guessing. Well, what if I don't do this? What if I don't do that? And it was just bad for me. It was
Hmm.
bad for me, and it's crazy because like um the job, I was a probation and parole officer, and the paperwork was fine, but when going on a computer and all the stuff that you had to do and remember, uh, and this wasn't stuff that you couldn't forget. It was like stuff, if you forget this, he's going to be released, and then you're going to be in trouble or fired or whatever. So it was just like, I can't do this. And my first day, I must have sat in the car and just be like, kind of prayed on it. My wife told me to pray on it. But that imposter syndrome is real. It's more real than discounts on Black Friday. Like,
It
it's
is.
yeah, it's real. It's real.
It
So
is. It is.
so in terms of how do you juggle all of that stuff? And I know there's some people that's listening now. You got your own business, you got a family, you got kids, and it's
Mhm.
demanding. Even with my wife, we it's just like
It's a lot.
I'm asking her to do this. I'm asking her where this is, and the kids are coming at her, and she's got to work, she's got to cook, and all of this stuff. How do you
Right.
juggle all of that?
Oh, so what I do is I plan out and I have like a checklist as well as a calendar. So I know that probably is going to sound like very regiment, but I really do. Like every day,
Yeah.
I have a checklist on all the things that I have to do every day. And that includes spending time with my kids.
Right. Right.
That includes like hugging them, telling them I love them. So I just got through telling them probably about 2 hours before we started this call that I'm like, tonight is movie night. So after mommy's last call, it's me and y'all, right? We're gonna pop some popcorn. And so having that regimen. Like every Friday, they know it's movie night with mom, and that we're gonna hop into bed, we're gonna get some popcorn, we're gonna cuddle up, and we're gonna put on a really good movie. And it's just me and them, no phone, no computer, no work, right? And so I put that, I'm intentional with that time on my calendar. And I'm intentional about also bringing in help, right? So unfortunately, I don't cook that much anymore, right? Because I pay people to cook for me now, been a game changer for me, right?
Right.
I have cleaners come in and clean up the house. So it's like it's and don't feel bad. Like people used to try to make me feel bad, like, oh, you're lazy because you got a cleaner. Like, no, I'm smart. I'm
Right.
smart
Right.
because the time that I could the
Haters.
time that it take, right? The time that it takes to clean my house, I could have been making money, right? Or I
Right.
could have been spending time with my kids or my significant other, right? When that happens. So it's like, no, like you have to be intentional, put that stuff in your calendar, create a checklist for yourself so you can hold yourself accountable, and then put people in place to help you get back more of your time now. So
Right.
now I can take more of my time and hire other people to handle a lot of things for me.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause that's good. That's good stuff because um that can get just so consuming and just tire you out, and next thing
Yeah.
you just lacking time with this person, giving more time to that when it gets lopsided. It's week
Hmm.
that week and then lopsided next week. Just kind of crazy. But um there's two more things I want to get into. And I'm going to get into this one first, and then I want to talk about specifically what you do and how you can help others. Um, but this one is right now. I want to get into in terms of marketing someone's business, like in terms of marketing on social media. This
Hmm.
seems to be one of the questions that clients ask me too. Um, how do I market on social media? What do I do? What do So in terms of marketing on social media, where would one start?
Hmm. Yeah. So the very first thing that I would say is you have to specialize, right? You have to have a niche. And the reason why it's not because we're trying to pigeonhole you into just one thing. The reason why is because we know exactly where to find our people, right? Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Right,
So
right.
if I wanted to find a Christian, where would I go, Dre?
You go to the church.
To
What
church.
you go
I'm
you
gonna go
you go to Facebook, and then you type in Deacon Brown,
right.
and then you type
Exactly.
in Fishdale.
Exactly. So it's just like people, the reason why they're so confused about their marketing is because they don't have a perfect client avatar that they're trying to reach. So as soon as you know the type of client that you want, now I know where to find them. I know exactly what their pains and problems are. I know exactly how to help them. And now I just go do that. Right?
Right,
Like
right,
now you can actually go do that and be successful. So that it's like being an expert or just having a industry that you focus on, a niche that you focus on is game changer.
right,
It would change your life, change your marketing.
right. Yeah, and I like the one thing I have like some clients, they'll come to me and they'll ask, they say they want to do a podcast, but I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do it on? Well, I don't know. Okay,
See?
so you got to find that out first. And most
You do.
people, yeah, most people they know when they come to me. But for those who don't, I try to give them this exercise where I'll tell them to write down 5 things that they think they're good at, and then I'll
Mhm.
ask them to go ask 5 other people to write down
Mm.
what they're good at. Not
Mm.
them, but the person that wants to start the podcast. So now
That's
this
good.
person, yeah, he has his list of 5 different things, and then you got 25 different things on the other side, and you just
Mhm.
kind of compare them. Kind of
Mhm.
compare them which ones. If you get a lot more, you get 8 talking about sports, then maybe you should explore that. But I tell them, take your top 3
Mhm.
and you just narrow it down because my thing is like you really got to niche down. You just can't just do it on sports. So you mean you just, I'm gonna do a podcast on sports. Okay, but what sport? Football.
Yeah.
Okay, what
Yeah.
about football? How many players suffer from mental health? Like you have to niche
Ooh.
down. Like you have to go
Yeah.
down, 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 down,
Yeah.
down, on baby. Oop, like let me stop. But yeah,
Hey.
so but yeah, so it's just like they don't know. It's just like, okay, so where do you start? But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Um, I what I've experienced, and I want to ask you this is there such thing as just marketing too much on social media? Like, you got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got Instagram. So every time you post something to Facebook, you got to go to Twitter. Then you got to go to Instagram, post the same thing.
Mhm.
And some people don't, I think there's a tool that you can post to all of them, I think. But,
Mhm.
it's just a lot. 15, five, no, not 15. Let's just say 5 or 6 different ones. You got to keep posting. Should one like concentrate more on a specific social media platform than the other?
Mm. So I think where people go wrong is that they're posting to sell. And that
Mm.
can become annoying. Like if the only thing you're posting is buy my thing, here's my thing, see my thing, like that's the only thing you're talking about,
Right.
you you're gonna get deleted, unfriended, blocked, like the whole nine. But there isn't a such thing as like posting too much when you're posting value, right? So if you're coming on and you are going back to your example with the sports podcast, if you were a person talking about mental health in the football industry and how that affects families and the people within that sports industry, if you're coming on dropping gems every single day for 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, like that's value, right? People are actually waking up excited to hear you. And when you don't come on at 9 a.m., they're looking for you. Like, where you at, man? Like, where you at? I was looking
Right.
forward to hearing what today's message was. So when you're dropping gems and you're actually giving people value, there's never too much. And so what I typically do is I choose one platform to kind of dominate on, but I still take that same content and then I distribute it all over social media, right? So if I'm posting on YouTube, I'm going to take that same video and I'm going to post it on LinkedIn, and then I'm going to take like a 60-second clip of that and put it on Instagram, right, for instance, and then pop up the video on Facebook. Like I'm going to make sure that I put that one piece of content everywhere, because you do reach different demographics, right? Like on LinkedIn, you have more of a mature audience. They also check LinkedIn less than a typical Facebook user. Facebook, you have more of an educated audience than Instagram, right? The average person on Facebook typically has some college degree, whereas the average person on Instagram might not, right? Or they might have less education. So you reach a wide array of your same client, right? It's still your perfect client avatar. You're just reaching them where they at, right? Like where their attention span is at right now. So as long as you're giving value, like I would say you can't go wrong with that. But if you're just trying to sell people every day to say, hey, watch my podcast, but you're not telling people why, that's not gonna work.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Because I know when I first started podcasting, I honestly didn't know how to market to them. I just didn't know what to say to them or anything like that. So I kind of just kept it. I just kept it real with them and just started talking about other things, and
Yeah,
answering questions at the same time, but just talking about other things. It ain't all about business, but
right.
and that kind of helped. But
Yeah.
what's is there? I guess there's an approach where depending on the type of business that you have. But what's the approach for what you do in terms of trying to reach clients? Is it like you just email them, or you just ease into it? In
You say
terms,
easy.
yeah, like ease into it, couple of questions you answer, and then you just bang hit them. You sneak up on them, be like, "Yeah, you want this?" But
Right,
just
right.
stuff like that. What's the approach? Because I
So
know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, I was gonna say my primary approach has been video content. Like a video allows you to build know, like, and trust, right? Because I can see you, you can see me. This is kind of like the next best thing than me being right there sitting on your couch, right? And we're having a conversation. So video has allowed me to build relationships with people, build know, like, and trust with them in record time, because now if I put out a video and they like the content, they're going to binge watch my other content, and each hit or each content piece that they consume, they're actually building a deeper bond, a deeper trust, a deeper know with me. And so now when I make the offer to let me help you grow your business, right, they feel comfortable and confident because now they have a sense of who I am, how I teach, how I communicate, and they have that built up kind of trust there
Okay.
just through video. So
Right.
that's video has been game changer for me, and I teach the same thing to my clients.
Okay. Yeah, I think the video is very important. Some videos, you watch and you watch over and over again, and people feel like they know you, like they get that
They do.
connection.
They
You
do.
build that trust, and then it's just like you can probably sell them anything. Um,
Mhm.
but I've experienced that. It works too, and just keep it genuine.
Yeah.
Try to help out, whatever. Just keep it genuine and keep it real. Um,
Yeah.
I want to talk about taxes now. I wanted to have a couple of questions about individual taxes and business taxes, and then I want
Mhm.
to talk about what you do a little deeper, like what courses you have and things of that nature. Um,
Okay.
but in terms of taxes, in terms of the individual, it's two questions, a two-part question. In terms of the individual compared to the business, so that's the second question, the business, a business entity. What's the biggest mistake they make when they're filing? An individual and then a business, like clients you've worked
Mhm.
with.
Yeah, so the biggest mistake that individuals make is normally not withholding the correct amount of taxes.
Mm.
Most professionals, they try to play around with their W-4 on how many exemptions they withhold from their paycheck, right? You could there used to be this saying that yeah, to take your exemptions to 9 so you get most of your check during Christmas, right? And then take it back up, right? So playing around like that without like a real strategy it typically has a lot of people owing money the next year because they don't really have a plan on how they're actually kind of adjusting their withholdings. So I would say that would be the biggest thing. I see it a lot in the professional space, such as like teachers get into trouble doing that, police officers get into trouble doing that. A lot of professionals, they typically try to withhold less money than what they normally are supposed to, and then they get in trouble next year when they owe. The other thing for businesses is almost very similar, but because businesses are responsible to pay their own estimated taxes, most business owners don't. Most business owners, they don't pay their own estimated taxes, so it leaves them in a predicament to where now they feel they have to write off everything, even stuff they're not supposed to write off, and now they look broke on paper. So now when they go to apply for a mortgage, when they go try to get a car, the bank is like, "You broke, bro. Like, you don't got no money," because they wrote off everything, right? And business owners get into trouble like that. It's like if you properly plan, you can therefore pay the least amount of taxes, but still go out and get the things that you want to get for you and your family, like a house.
Right, right. Are there, in terms of like owing money and stuff like that, are there a lot of options for repayment in terms of like on time, for an individual who, college students, if they owe money, I doubt it, but there's some people who owe money, and they just panic like they're going to jail right away. Like, like they're not going to get a chance to pay it. You
No.
just going to jail.
No, 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 no. So the IRS won't do that. So the options typically are get on an installment agreement. Like if you can afford to pay, for instance, the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS wants you to pay on a payment plan, right? There are options where if you are insolvent, if you honestly cannot afford to pay the IRS a monthly fee to pay down your debt, there are options to really do what's called an offer and compromise, where you go to the Internal Revenue Service and say, "Hey, I really don't have any money. I don't have any assets. Can we just call this even Steven?" Right? And I'm making light of it, but that's really in essence what you do and what your
Right.
tax professional can help you do. And the IRS will look at your paperwork. They're going to verify everything, so you can't even lie on this. Like they're going to look at your assets. They're going to pull up what property you have in your name. They'll see if you try to transfer something out of your name, right? Because some people would try to be slick and try to transfer their car or their home into somebody else's name. The IRS sees all the whole paper trail, so you can't. There's no pulling the wool, the cover over their eyes, right?
Right.
But if they do find that, yeah, you are really broke and you really can't afford to pay us, and it will cause you undue hardship, you can, reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. And then there are other instances where they're like, well, we see that you don't have any money, but we think that that is going to change soon. So what we'll do for you is we'll stop collection activity right now, but you're still going to incur like penalties and interest.
Hmm.
So there
Okay.
are some options. There's
Right.
some options. You won't go
Okay.
to jail.
All right. In terms of now, I know COVID-19 has changed the game. People are getting stimulus checks and things of that nature. Uh, is there anything new this year with filing for the taxes in reference to like that's changed in reference to COVID or stimulus checks? Would they have to pay it back? Is that something that they have to put on their taxes when they file?
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So as far I know for the businesses that received like the PPP, the
Mm-hmm.
payroll protection program, a lot of businesses that received that with the IRS, what Congress had just passed not too long ago with this second stimulus package was that if you can take that money, but you don't have to report it as income, and you can still expense it as a real expense, right? So if I got, for instance, $100,000 in PPP for payroll, well, I can go ahead and pay my payroll and I can use that on necessary expenses associated with that. I can actually write that $100,000 off. Like I can, it's a line for line deduction for me, and I don't have to claim it as income. So that was definitely an update that Congress did pass, and I think it's going to help a lot of businesses.
Okay. All right. So now I just want to go into your services, your business, give you an opportunity to market uh your business. So I know you do a lot of things, Krista. But what are some of the main things that you do with your clients?
Yeah, so I work with tax and accounting professionals all over the world, right? And we really just show them how to build a virtual tax and accounting firm. So not only do we show them how to price their services, how to have strategy sessions, which means how do you talk to a prospect over the phone to where they feel comfortable to pay you and to become a client, but we also show them how to utilize video marketing on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And we show them how to strategically make connections with people online, right? Like, how do you strategically reach out to your perfect client on Facebook, on Instagram? What do you say? How do you say it? So we teach the entire gamut from marketing to actually running the business. And a lot of our clients, once they do the work, they scale to 5, 10, $15,000 a month within the
Hmm.
first year.
Wow. Wow. I might have to sign. Hey, you have course you say you have courses?
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes,
Let me
yeah.
write this down here because you let me write this down here. You got course. No, let me say. I'm well. Wow, that's good. Do you find any resistance with clients? I mean, the crazy thing is, it's a crazy question, but you know, it's funny because they'll contact you and hire you to help them do something, and sometimes, because I've experienced that, they don't want to do what you tell them. Have you experienced that?
Have I? That's like the main battle. It's like, listen to me, like, do what I'm telling you to do. So yeah, it happens. And I think it's because it's a muscle that they've never really utilized before, right? Like
Mm,
I'm taking someone that has never really put themselves out there, especially on social media, right? Talking to people that are high analytical thinkers, right? So they have to envision the entire process before they actually can take action. So yeah, so it happens all the time where people actually pay really good money to work with me and then don't do the work. And it blows my mind, but I get it. It's just they'll do everything but the work. They'll be like, "Oh, Crysta, I'm putting up this website. I don't even teach websites." I'm like, "Well, you don't even do a website right now. That's not even in the program. Like, what you doing? Come back over here." Or they'll be like, "Crysta, I'm thinking about doing this and that," and I'm like, bring it on in. Like, I need you to focus. What's in the program, these steps will help you if you just follow it. And it just goes back to the mindset thing. A lot of it is just mindset, just them believing in themselves, um, being afraid of rejection, right? A lot of people are afraid of, or they don't even realize that they're afraid of rejection. And then there's a lot of people that are actually afraid of their own success. Like, they're like, holy crap, what if I get a client, then what? I'm like, you're going to help them. You're gonna provide a great service, you can do it. And it's
Right.
kind of like what you said earlier, like, you got the job, but you were so afraid to mess up, right? And what messing up would mean, they feel the same way. They're like, "Holy crap, if I get this business client and I have to do their bookkeeping and accounting, what if I mess up on their finances, right? What if I mess up on the numbers?" And now they're responsible. So I get it, and I it's just a constant just coaching on that. Yes, you are enough. Mistakes do happen, right? But we're going to try to mitigate those mistakes by you just following the process, right?
Right.
Follow the process, follow the procedures, follow the instructions. And that's when you're going to build up the confidence. When you actually go in there and you do the work, that's when you become more confident, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You right. Uh-huh.
You said right, right.
I was when you said make a mistake, I was thinking about when I got out of college, right? I went to this property management company, and I started out as a like a not a lease consultant, like one of the like a rental advisor. So they come there, they pay the rent, I put in work orders and stuff like that. So then I got moved to accounts payable. They gave me a stack of bills, right? Here, pay these. This is what they said. Here, pay these.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking like, okay, all right. So I did it, and it's
Yeah.
like, make sure you do a reconciliation and make sure it balances out. Got you. Okay. So the first time I did it, I mean, I caught on real easy after a couple of days. But the first day, I did a bank reconciliation. I mean, a reconciliation, and I was 3 cents off. And I looked for that 3 cent for 2 hours. 2 hours. And it comes to find out I made a mistake and it wasn't 3 cents missing. I just put the number wrong. I went through
Okay.
all of them and all of that. So um, that's just crazy. Like I'm sure you probably see that with some of your clients, but
Yeah.
I think that's crazy. Like you can't be afraid to make a mistake. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You just can't be afraid to make a mistake, and you know that's how you learn. So
Yeah, that's
I messed up 5 times, 6 times, but I'm never gonna learn how to throw a football if I just read a book on how to do it. I gotta kind of grab it
exactly.
and throw it. So, but
And do it.
it is what it is. I
Yeah.
say that because I want people to, let me focus in on everybody. You can make a mistake. It's
It's
okay. You'll learn
okay.
from it. You got it. You'll learn from your mistakes. So, just telling you that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Krista, you have any courses that's you running any courses right now or any new courses or anything like that?
Yeah, so we are just opening up what's called our Millionaire Boot Camp. And so we're going to be taking lucky individuals through a very intense cohort on starting and scaling their business to $1 million. So we're
Okay.
going to start with your perfect customer all the way to learning marketing, how to talk to people, how to hire, fire, train, standard operating procedures, everything that I've been learning over the past couple of years. I'm pretty much going to take it from my brain and give it to you to help you scale. So we're excited about that. We're starting that the second week of February.
Second week of February. I'm gonna when we get off, I'm gonna get that information. I'm gonna put it on my website. So look, if y'all want to get rich and you want to get you want to make that money and all of that stuff, and you want to get motivated and do the right thing, you might want to
Right.
hit you might want to hit Krista's page up. A website. You have a website, Krista?
Yes,
Okay, let
yes,
them have that website. Give them that website real quick. Listen to this,
yes.
y'all.
It's a little it's taxaccountingclients.com is what it's called.
And this is video, so you can rewind it. So don't make no excuses. Oh, I didn't get it all. You can rewind it. So tell them one more time so they know.
Yeah, or they can simply email me hello@CrystaTyus.com, and
Okay,
then
so
we
that's
can
easy.
go
That's
over some
easy.
information. Yeah.
And if you want to see some of the work that Crysta does, if you want to kind of uh, get to know what she does and get to know her, you can go to her YouTube channel too because it's awesome. I love it. And you can tell them about the YouTube channel.
Yeah, so yeah, if you wanna go ahead and check out how I teach, right, how I communicate, then go ahead. It's just Crysta Tyus EA on YouTube. You can check out some videos.
And they're real good ones too. They're very inspiring and motivational. So y'all make
These
sure
are real good
y'all
ones.
y'all make sure y'all look go to her channel. All right.
Thank
So
you, thank you.
Crysta, I appreciated this so much. I've learned a lot. I thank you a lot for coming on. I know you're real busy, and I know you're about to go pop that popcorn with them kids, them babies.
Yes.
Um, but that it was a good interview. I appreciate it. I want you to stay on. I'm gonna log off here now, but I want
Okay.
to thank everybody for listening. And make sure you tune in Monday because Monday is going to be an interesting show. It's about um, historically black colleges and universities. Does it help or hinder?
Mm.
Because there's some people who think going to a historically black college won't get you a good career, and some people say, well, it does, and you learn a lot more and life lessons and things of that nature. So make sure you tune in Monday. It's going to be a good show, and I will see you then. I'm out.